my head is always running with marketing ideas. When we build websites, that's just your foundation, the platform of all of your social media, all of your marketing, all of your advertising. It all sits right there. And so through all the experience over the years of building websites, we recognize how all those things come and tie together and how important it is for people to have that opportunity to start from the right place and grow. And of course, you can't do it all at the beginning. You can't do it all at first. So we had to learn all those things. And then we wanted to take that and turn it into a way to teach marketing. So since I was randomly telling people on the street how to market their business, I figured maybe if I got organized with some other people, maybe we could create a way to share this with everybody who wants to come.
Welcome to Denny Talks, a guiding conversation to living life to the fullest. Join us for inspiring discussions on entrepreneurship, small business tips, and seizing the opportunities. Subscribe now for concise, motivating episodes that encourage you to chase your dreams, where we believe that life, dreams, and opportunities collide.
I'm Sash Johnson, Choctaw Websites. You can follow us at choctawwebsites.com to see the work we do. You can find us on Facebook, Choctaw Websites. And you can always follow me for my personal stuff, Sash Johnson, on Facebook. I kind of keep a journal of the stuff that's going on in our lives there. So
Excellent. So not only do you have Choctaw Websites, but you also have started something brand new as well. Can you tell us what that is?
So McAllister Masterminds, and this is for business owners here in the city of McAllister, Oklahoma, to get together and help each other. I was so pleased that you were one of our first guests, and thank you very much for coming to be a guest speaker. What we want to do is every 3 months or so have a workshop where we get business owners that have experience to come in and teach new business owners or people who have been in business for a while and they're kind of lost and they don't know what the next step is, how to grow their business, how to get money for their business, how to network. I want to teach an array of things. I believe I have a banker coming in next time who's going to come in and teach about how to get funding for your business. So that's always exciting too. And we want to make it either free or affordable. We might have some people who want to teach get paid to teach courses, and that's fine if people want to pay for that. But for the most part, I want to really keep it free. So
Excellent. Well, that's going to be really exciting, and we can't wait to see it continue to grow, because I definitely think that small businesses need support in education and continuing to thrive within their area of expertise and be able to learn how they can grow within the community, as everything is always changing. So I want to know a little bit about kind of like what inspired you to start your own company.
well, first off, see how well you say that? You're so well spoken. Yeah, I just kind of run around in circles, but you said it so precisely. I love that. I'm gonna have to write that down. So how I got started in my own business? Well, many years ago, I was looking for a job and I had an opportunity to go. Had been doing property management for a few years, and I had an opportunity to be a property manager at a new place, or I could be a part-time assistant for a magazine. And I've always wanted to be in publishing. So I I went to work for Joan Padberg at Country Review magazine, and she'd already been in business for 20 years at that point, and she had come from a long career in newspaper ad sales. And so she had gone from that to starting a magazine in her hometown that was small at the time in California, but it went on to grow pretty big. Now that town has 1 million people in it, and it's a town no one's ever heard of either. So I went to work for Joan at the magazine. I remember for the first month, my first paycheck was $42. But I stayed with it because I was learning how to put a magazine together, how to write articles, how to write advertorials, which are articles that are advertisements for a business. So learned all of that. And then I really wanted to keep growing, and she taught me how to sell ads and why ads are good for people. And she taught me, one of the biggest things she taught me was that when someone buys an ad from you, you're not taking money for them for nothing. You're providing them a much needed service. Prior to that, I was really anxious about doing any kind of sales. I didn't want to be in sales, but I realized we work in that kind of stuff all the time. We just don't realize it. So, when she sold the magazine and retired, and I went on to work for someone else who's now my husband, and he already had his own business doing online publishing. And I wanted to take my print publishing ideas and move that to online. So went to work for him, and I started my own business a year later. And he and I worked together, but he has his business and I have my business, and still since 2010, we have two businesses. And we keep it that way. He works for me building the websites, and I work for him on his other business selling advertising. So it's the same thing in a little different way. So
Yeah, exactly. You
that's
guys
how
are
I
complementing each other.
very much. I think one of the things I've thought about, and you have to tell me what you think on this. I was thinking we should do a course on about couples, married couples running a business together, because I think there's a very distinct way for us, for my marriage, it works great. We have very different roles and we do very different things. No one tells the other how to do their job. We talk about ideas a lot, but I have some other clients, a number of other couples who struggle with, this person is the boss and this person works for this person. And then that bleeds over into their personal relationship. And maybe two people don't work the same way. Maybe one person thinks the other one doesn't work hard enough. So finding some kind of medium in there. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I definitely think that it's more common nowadays is that you're combining two people's dreams into one to make one particular business, and I definitely think that if you can find a spouse that strengthens your need for that, and you guys can complement each other, it's definitely beneficial. But like you said, that it is not for everybody, because there is that need for that communication, and and if you're not always willing to put in the work in order to communicate, that is it might not always be successful or the way that you kind of hope it to be. And it is really hard to balance the lifestyle of marriage along with your business lifestyle. And so those are two very different worlds that you constantly have to juggle between. So I definitely think that people can be counseled into making it work for them. So definitely that's a need, I would say, because you see a lot of people doing it.
I'd like to get like a therapist to come in and talk about that. Someone who has experience helping two people work together on communication skills, like you said. That'd be so good. So I'm lucky. My husband and I started out working together, and then we got together as a couple. And working with him is a privilege. I've never met anyone who works to my level of perfection. I'm a perfectionist. I think you are too. Someone who's as ambitious as I am, someone who'll put in the hours like I will, someone who is creative and yet very technical. All those things and somebody who gets excited about the work we do every day. When I met him, I read some of the stuff he'd written. He had a number of websites. I started selling ads on. And some of the stuff he had written blew my mind. He's such a good writer on top of all these other things. And we traveled on our motorcycles for 3.5 years around the country. And then we got an RV after that. But prior to when we were on the motorcycles, we both written motorcycle blogs. And we would be places and strangers would come up to us. Oh, you're Sash Johnson. Oh, you're Steve Johnson. I read your stuff. And when you have a blog, like a podcast, you see numbers, right, of all the people that are looking. And it doesn't seem like real people sitting and watching and reading, like who's ever looking at this right now.
Yeah.
But they're real people and they're involved in your journey. And when you're out and you meet them, and people were just so taken with my husband and his writing. And I could see what an impact he was having on the world. And like I said, that just felt like a privilege to work with someone like that. So yeah, I'm really fortunate.
Yeah, well, and that's exciting to see, and I think you made a good point of how a small business people can really make a really big impact on other people's lives, whether you're adding value educationally or just bringing joy to their lifestyle in order to reach them where they're at and being able to offer them a service is pretty exciting. So I would love to know a little bit more about your tell us a little bit about how we can learn from the expertise that you guys have from building websites and just marketing and selling ads. What's some key takeaways that we need to know?
Well, let me plug my book real quick. It's free, so it's not much of a plug, right? It's 22 Easy as Pie Country Marketing Tips. And it's just full of ideas and really brief little pieces about like sending email newsletters. There's a great example. I know it's time consuming. It's a lot faster now that it's automated. Managing your Google My Business. Well, now it's called Get Google Business Profile. Managing that. Most powerful free tool available to business owners is Google Business Profile. Go in there, get it done. Even if you have a home-based business, you don't have to make your address public. Those are huge tools right there. We talk about SEO, sponsoring local events. That's something I talk to people about often is get out there in the community, sponsor a local event. When you sponsor a local event, don't just put up a banner and not show up. Get out there, be public, be there with your branded clothing on, and get out and make sure that people know you're there. And networking. In-person networking. Now I know you have a great networking group, which is where you and I actually met the third time, I think it was, but and I met a lot of people at your last women's networking event. But networking for sure, in person, that's where the real connection happens. I think too, what people miss is that in any business, you have to give before you ask. So you don't want to just go to someone and say, hey, can I have such and such? Or will you do this for me? You just some stranger, right? No one likes that. You don't like it when people do it to you.
Right.
But when you're giving and taking and you're building a relationship, now you don't mind doing things together. You helped me with the masterminds, McAllister Masterminds. I want to help you with what you're working on. We can build on that together. That's building relationships. Business is really about building relationships. That should be the first thing we think of. So when you get networking, that's when you're starting to build those relationships. And that's when you're starting to be able to create a customer base. And then don't forget your customer base. Make sure that when you have a customer, that you stay in touch with that customer. That's where like email newsletters come in handy. And just staying active, not just on your social media, not just on your Facebook page, but getting out there and interacting in the commenting on other Facebook pages. I think that's a number one thing I see people do wrong on Facebook or Instagram is they'll post and disappear.
Yeah.
And they're not staying on and interacting on other commenting and just be your authentic self. Talk as your business and, avoid the landmines of the things we're not supposed to talk about as a business. But try not to get into politics unless politics is what you're about, right? But yeah, interaction, it's not just posting, it's interaction. And I think people miss that a lot.
Right. And so that's that social side of things. That's the purpose of your social media. So I like what you had to say when you said not only are you growing your community within your own platform, but also going and networking, finding other platforms that you can be a part of that can also serve as being an ease onto your business as well. So, like you had said, that Facebook groups, you can join plenty of free Facebook groups. They have networking groups that you can even just post on there to promote your business or asking questions.
Yep.
So I think that's a really great one to have too. So now let's go ahead and talk a little bit about your websites. So your guys' websites, why is it important as a small business in order to have a landing page of some sort, a business website?
Well, there's a number of reasons. So we've learned all this from experience of building websites since 1996. My husband built his first website in 96, and he has one that he started in 97 that we still sell advertising on. We've silenced that. I should have done that ahead of time. So it's important. Oh shoot, I'll do it later. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
So websites. It's important as a business owner to have a website so that you have a way for people to see all of your information quickly, and have a website built in a manner that when someone looks at a website, their eye goes from left to right and it goes down a little bit the minute they land on that site. They need to see all of the information they're looking for in about 5 seconds. They need to know, hey, this is here. When they have that, now they're going to stay on longer, and they're going to be interested in you. They're going to connect with you. So they need that information when they have a question, they have a place they want to go and find the answers. The second thing is that when you're using Google Business Profile, Google will rank you better on their search. So they have a search. You go in and you type HVAC in my area or near me, or the name of your city, and a list is going to come up. The businesses that have an active website are going to rank higher than those who have no website or a dead website.
Okay.
So those are important as well. So just to be able to utilize that. And then Facebook and Google are competitors. People don't know that, but they're both search engines. And so if you don't have a website and you only have a Facebook page, you're not going to get those benefits from Google search. 71% of all people who search for something new in their area look on Google search. So you're missing all those people. You're only over here. You can't actually go to Facebook and type in HVAC near me. You could put in something, you could search, but that's just not the way Facebook is used. So you need both. You need Instagram, you need TikTok, you need Snapchat, depending on where you are and who your audience is.
Okay. Wow, that's really good information. I didn't realize that they were such competitors in that sense. So now you offer the ability to build websites. And so tell me, what are some of your key sites that you would recommend for someone who doesn't have a website yet, but now they've just been convinced we need one? So are you recommending that they can build their own website? If so, what app would you recommend, or go through you? What kind of things are you thinking?
We offer websites from $600 to build it, and then it's $600 a year to maintain it. And that's just a single page site with your basic information on it, just so you have a website for people to get that important information. We have sites that are 1,100, 1,500, 2,500, depending on how much you need. Now, if you have an online store, you're going to want to use Shopify. That's going to be a big website. It's going to have a lot of content. We'll set that up for you. You'll manage that on a regular basis. If you're just looking for, like I said, an HVAC site, you're going to want like a $1,200, $1,500 website. It just depends on how much you need. If you're just service oriented and you just have a single bit of information, you don't have an events calendar, you don't have like ongoing pictures you want to post all the time, then you just need a flat website. That's $600, and we'll build that for you. I will say, I know there are some people that have good experience with Wix. We don't recommend Wix. The biggest reason is there's a lot, well, two reasons. One, there's a lot of add-ons that you have to pay for. So you get your site, but then you find out, oh, I have to pay extra for email, and I have to pay extra to use this plugin and that plugin. And when it's all said and done, you could have paid us half that amount and have more. So like, we'll give you a website with email attached. You'll have your own email addresses. With Wix, you have to pay extra for that.
Mhm.
And lastly, when you're done with your Wix site and say you do want to transfer to someone else, you can't. It has to stay on Wix. You can't just take that website and transfer that somewhere else. So the kind of websites we build, we'll transfer it for you. If you want to put it on another server or work with someone else down the road, we just transfer that over for you. That's part of what we commit to.
Okay.
And plus, we commit to having your website done in 30 days or less, or you get your money back.
Oh,
I think a lot of people don't realize that a lot of these website developers, they kind of poof, disappear in the ether. And so with this, we guarantee that we're here. We guarantee we're going to get your work done. You're not waiting around for us for months and months. We're getting it done for you. So now, if you're going to build it yourself, there's definitely a learning curve to that. But like I said, Shopify, if you want to go with Shopify, that's usually a really good place to start if you have a bit of a larger website.
mhm. Yeah, we use Shopify for our stores, and it's about $29 a month in order to manage that on a weekly basis. And it is pretty easy to use. Like, it is a lot of dropping it, just your template dropping and whatnot. So it is pretty easy to be able to learn how to use it. It does take a little bit, like you said, a learning curve. Now for somebody who is, but that's also beneficial because we're able to ship things right then and there. And so it's a great host to be able to do that. So like you said, it just depends on where your business is at, or what it is that you guys serve. There's lots of different types of business online sites. And so I really value the fact that there are lots to choose from. One time we did go with somebody for a previous business that my husband and I owned, and it did feel like he made it way more complicated than it needed to be in order to build a website. And it was nowhere near the cost that you just said. It was several hundred, it was several thousands of dollars in order to build this. And then it was like, you didn't even get anything for the first like 6 months. And it was like, what? Really?
Oh,
That it was.
no.
So I think doing your due diligence of searching for a reputable person is very important to do. And it doesn't have to cost a lot of money in order to have your face on the interweb, like you were saying, in order to share.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty simple. If you've been doing it as long as we have a system. And so I gather all the information ahead of time, and then we start the clock and we get it all built, and you review it. And then once you review it, we make changes, and
Yeah.
that's done. And that's 30 days. And if you have a good system like that in place, and you've done this 100 times, which we've probably built well over 300 websites over the years. We have clients we've had for 10 years that have been clients that we've been managing their website, and they're always happy with it. So that's what's important to me. So is
Right.
keeping my customers happy
Yeah.
and being available. My phone is always with me. So
Well, yeah, that's also the thing of being on as an entrepreneur, is that you're always on. But that's what keeps the business rolling around, and being competitive and understanding what your clients need. And I think that people really value that. So now, do you have an opportunity? One thing on our podcast that we talk about is being able to see opportunities around us and being able to make the most of those opportunities. So you have a variety of different avenues that you have rolled into. So what opportunity arose that prompted you towards this venture that you're currently on?
Wow. So, so I'm Choctaw, and which thus is why I have the name Choctaw Websites. Um, I, when I first started my company in 2011, um, it was it was more out of like necessity because what my husband's company was doing was slightly different than what I wanted to do for my company, which was more marketing a foundation. And then we got together and we did these two businesses together. But in 2020, which was everybody knows what 2020 was like, we decided that we were done traveling and we wanted to buy some land, and we wanted to buy land here in Oklahoma. The initial thought was land, and because we were living in an RV, and we thought, oh, we'll just park our RV there. And then it ended up being a house. And when we got here, I realized how underserved this area was with having any kind of website developers. I mean, there's one website developer here at the time, and he was backed up from what I understand. So it was, we saw an area that we could share what we knew and utilize all of our available, all the things we know, and be able to help people grow their business. Being Choctaw, it's really important to me to grow the Choctaw Nation, grow the Choctaw economy. The economy for everyone here in Southeast Oklahoma benefits all of us. The more business we can keep here, the more money we can make here, the more everyone thrives, right? So I buy stuff on Amazon like everybody else, but I I would much prefer to buy things local. I would much prefer to keep my business and my money here. And that way, the people here stay in business longer, and we all grow from each other.
Sure.
So just coming here, I felt very called to come here and live. My family left here when my parents were both babies. And so I had never even been to Oklahoma, but I did feel very, very called by my ancestors to come here and give it a try. So it's been amazing for
Well,
me.
that's awesome. I'm so glad to hear that for you and that you're figuring out what works best for you and your family and able to start a company that is really servicing a lot of people and hopefully reaching them where they need to in order to grow. Like you said, that small business and supporting one another makes a huge difference in so many people's pocketbooks as well. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to see everybody make money. I'm out here fighting communism every day by promoting capitalism. Go money. So,
Well, to
because
me,
money is the grease in the wheels, right? Money greases the wheels to help us do things that we want to do with our lives, to help us live our dreams, to help us help others, to help us be of service to our community and to our families. If we don't have money and we can't feed our kids, right? It starts at a really basic level. And that doesn't mean live for money and hoard money. It just means make enough to have a good, healthy life so you have space in your life to do for others.
sure. Well, that is a very wonderful thing to say on that one. Do you have anything that you would like to leave us with as a lasting advice or something you'd like to share with us before we part?
I have a phrase that I remind myself of often. I have it on a little sign here by my desk. It says, be you, boldly embrace your own uniqueness. When it comes to business, not just in your personal life, do that, but business too. Your business is different than anybody else's business because it's your business, you. And there is a personal element of your selfness that you bring to that website, or I'm sorry, that business. And so that's like one of the things we try to incorporate into your website is that there's that personal element of who you are. There's not another Lauren Denny out there. There's never going to be another Lauren Denny. And even if you did the same work that someone else is doing, you're going to do it in your own unique way. And when you embrace that individuality and that uniqueness, you're going to find your tribe. Those people who are attracted to that, people who you resonate with, they're going to find you and you're going to be able to service them. There's going to be people out there who don't resonate with you, and that's okay. They're not your customers.
Right.
Being able to be genuine and embrace your uniqueness is what helps you grow your business, that helps you feel authentic in your life every day. I wake up now, I tried to be a lot of different people for a lot of different people over my lifetime. And I wake up now every day and go, I like my life. I like what I'm doing. I have troubles just like anyone else, but I love the way my life is right now. So,
Because you've stood
and
in
that's because I'm,
authenticity. Mhm.
yep, yeah, it took a long time. It's a long time to get here. So,
Yes, everybody's
yeah.
on their own journey. Well, goodness, Sash, you gave us so many tips and tricks on the value of having a website and networking. And can you tell us one more time where we can find you, as well as plug your book of your 25 free tips and tricks as well? So tell us those things.
It's 22 easy as pie country marketing tips. And you just get this by coming to one of my workshops and I hand it to you. That's the only way I'm giving them out right now.
Okay.
And my website is Choctaw Websites, ChoctawWebsites.com. And you can find me on Facebook, Sash Johnson, and you can find me on Facebook with Choctaw Websites as well. And definitely, if you're in McAllister, we'd love to have, or even the surrounding areas, come to McAllisterMasterminds.com, and that's with an S, masterminds.com. And we would love to have you join us at our next free workshop that's coming up in a couple of months.
Awesome. Well, thank
And
you.
we're also trying to do networking.
Yes, that's important to do too. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Sash, and we were looking forward to connecting with you soon.